vinyl community, welcome back. This is Hubtunes. I am Mike. I'm doing something I never do, and I probably swore I would never do again. I'm at a large music festival. This is Riotfest in Chicago, 2024. Saturday, I got one ticket for just one day. $100 to see 6 bands that I really wanted to see, with no downtime in between those 6 bands. Go, from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 10 o'clock at night. So going to see the Hives right now, the great Swedish punk band, fantastic band live. Then I'm going to see a band, Manchester Orchestra, who I've never seen before. They always get a good buzz and a good rep at these kind of things, so I thought I'd check them out. Then going to see Pavement and St. Vincent and Spoon, and the headliner tonight is Beck. So gonna take some video, take some photos, and then probably do a little review of the day. It is absolutely gorgeous in Chicago today. A late September day, 80 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. So here we go, let's go. Riotfest 2024. Riotfest is a music festival, 3-day music festival, pretty big here in Chicago on the west side of the city. Takes me I drive over. It's easier. Public transportation is kind of a bitch getting over there. So I usually drive over. It took me an hour and 20 to get there, and it's only 8 miles from my house. But coming home, it was only a half hour. So at the most, I think it was like 25 minutes. But I don't, like I said earlier, I thought doing a large outdoor music festival 3 days in a row is definitely a thing of the past for me. I'm 57 years old. I can't do anything 3 days in a row. Very, very seldom is there much I can do 3 days in a row. And the outdoor music festival is definitely one of them. But they announced the daily lineups for this, and I used to do this festival. This is a good festival. I'm not poo-pooing on this festival. This festival does a really good job of organizing, spacing stuff out, rotating the bands. There's no downtime. For the most part, there's always a band you want to see, and the crowds are minimal. You never feel like you're like too tightly in. So it is one of the festivals I really do enjoy. I've gone many times over the years. I've done 3-day weekends. Not doing those again. But they announced the daily lineup for Saturday, and I was all on board. For $99 for one day, I saw the Hives at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I got there around 1:30, I think I pulled in. And then Manchester Orchestra, a band I had heard a lot about, never had seen them. They've been around forever. They do these music festival cycles every year. For a long time. They've been around a long time. Then Spoon, one of my favorite bands. St. Vincent. Pavement, without Nico Case, and Beck was the closer. And I'm thinking, that's 6 damn bands for $99. It's summer's winding down here in Chicago. It was the weather was absolutely tremendous. It was 82, 83 degrees all day. Beautiful, not a cloud in the sky. You could not have asked for better weather. It really was phenomenal. And so I bought the ticket, and kind of surprised myself because I wasn't planning on going to anything like this year. But man, that lineup for Saturday was great. And there was no downtime in between these bands. It was boom, 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 all the way through. And a lot of the bands were on the same 2 stages. They have 2 stages set up, so you can be at one and then just pivot and you're at the other one. You're a little further away, but I'm not an up-close personal person. Though I did get up really close for the Hives because they were my one must-see. And they came on early, and there wasn't a big crowd. So, so I honestly, I had a great time. I had a really good time. I went with a couple of my besties, the same group of people I went to Las Vegas with for the Sphere, and we went to Paul Weller last week together, and we just had a really good time. It was fun to be outside with friends and, have a few drinks. I don't drink big at these things. It's too expensive. I think it was $16 a beer, which is, no, I'm not doing that. But it was great just being outside, hanging out with friends, listening to cool music. And I get there early because I have to see this band, The Hives. If you don't know them, they are a Swedish power pop punk band. They were pretty big in like the 2000s. I think they had some really good buzz in the 2000s. I saw them live about 4 years ago with a good friend of mine from San Francisco, and I had never seen them live before. I knew their music, never seen them live before, and holy crap, they blew the roof off the place. They played at the Vic Theater here in Chicago, and man, this band kicked ass. And they're arrogant, they're obnoxious. They're just a great punk band. They're so good. The lead singer is absolutely terrific. I would try and pronounce their names, but they're all Swedish, and I'm not going to do that for you. But wow, they were great. So this is my favorite album of theirs. This is I think it's just called the Black and White album. Came out for Record Store Day, a reissue of this. This is really a great album. If you're going to get a Hives record, get this. This is absolutely terrific. This is their best record, in my opinion. Definitely my favorite. It has kind of their biggest song. I guess it would be Tick Tick Boom, which they played, and it was great. So I got up pretty close. You saw some of the photos. I did a little montage before. I'm getting better at editing. If you followed this channel, you know I don't edit, but I'm starting to figure it out a little bit. So I saw this band, and they were the first. They were my must-see, my absolute must-see, and they did not disappoint. They were great. 50-minute set, which is kind of perfect. A 50-minute set for this band, this type of band, is perfect. It was full on. In your face, no freaking ballads. The lead singer was absolutely wonderful. It was hot. You could tell they were dying on stage. They had some in matching suits, and they were definitely dying on stage. It was humid. It was definitely humid in the afternoon. So the lead singer, I guess, I noticed that, for the first couple of songs, I was kind of like, wow, he doesn't seem to have as much. He had a lot of energy, but compared to the last time I saw him, it didn't seem like he seemed a little off. And he did admit he tore his ACL on the tour, and he's really struggling. But he put on a hell of a show. It did not disappoint. The Hives. Go see this band. So then I saw Manchester Orchestra. They were up next. I had never seen them before. Like I was just saying, they're kind of a staple on all these kind of tours, these concert, these summer musical festival tours, and I had never seen them before, so I was like, yeah, I'll check them out. I didn't like them. they were okay. They were fine. We kind of just stood around and had a beer, and they were more background music. We really didn't pay a lot of attention to them. They sounded okay. And then comes Spoon. Spoon is a band that I have had a relationship with since the day they released their first album. This is a band that I am still shocked how many people do not know about Spoon. Man, they've been around for almost 30 years now. And everyone's like, oh, that new band, Spoon. Jesus, they got like 15 albums and they've been around, at least almost 30 years, I think. And their new album is one of their best. This is Lucifer on the Sofa. Came out last year. This was really high on my best albums last year. I love this record. They do a wonderful cover of Weld, the Bill Callahan song from Smog. His band Smog did that. I love Spoon, and just a wonderful band. They kicked ass. They absolutely kicked ass. I love them. They, God, I've seen them. I bet I've seen this band 10 or 12 times. One of my favorite nights was in Austin City Limits, an after show. We're at La Zona Rosa, a great club. I wish it was still there. It's all closed up now, I believe. And we saw Gomez opened for Spoon, and then Spoon came on, and man, they played all frickin' night. They played till like 1 a.m. It was really, really cool. And they just kept going and going and playing and playing. And back then, they didn't have a lot of, I mean, they had music. They had probably 3 or 4 albums out, but it was fun. They were doing covers. They were doing everything. And I've seen them here in Chicago, God, so many times now. Just a terrific, terrific band. So this is their new album, most recent, came out last year. Lucifer on the Sofa. Highly recommend this. This really, this could be a starting point for Spoon. This is the album that kind of hit them. Like, this is the one that really kind of, all of a sudden people are like, oh, that band Spoon is pretty cool. This is Gimme Fiction. Excellent, excellent record. They played a bunch of stuff from this. This is probably the album that they're most known for. The Beast and the Dragon Adored. I love that song. I Turned My Camera On. Sister Jack. Delicate Place. I Summon You. This is a really good record. This is great all the way through. Just a terrific, terrific record. Like I said, probably the one that people know them the most for would be this. And then my personal favorite, and I still love this record. This is a punky record. It's got just a funky sound to it. It's minimalist, but they're just the sound they get from their instruments is just terrific. And this is Kill the Moonlight. This is where I would start. I love this record, but it's a different record for them. You know, they've grown. They've definitely grown with their sound, but they haven't left behind their sound of like albums like this and the one before this. Really good record. Well, let me find this. Here we go. Small Stakes opens it up. I think that was a single. The Way We Get By was definitely a single. My personal favorites on here are Paper Tiger, Jonathan Fisk. Jonathan Fisk sounds like it could be on like London Calling or, you know, an early Clash punk record. It's great. Someone Something is great. This is perfect all the way through. Excellent, excellent record. I would, you know, me personally, I would start here. Okay. Definitely my favorite Spoon record still to this day. Kill the Moonlight. So then we're here. There's 5 stages in the whole place. They had 2 right when you walk in, 2 big stages, which I didn't see anything on those 2 stages. And then there's 2 stages behind that. And that's where I spent most of my time. In fact, I saw all the bands I saw were on these 2 stages. So I didn't have to do a lot of running around and trying to get to a spot, you know, which was really convenient, especially at 57 years old. I don't want to be running around trekking, trying to find spots. And I literally stood in the same spot for. I stood in the same spot for every band except for the Hives. All the other bands, we stood right in the same spot. We never even left. So next up was St. Vincent. She's on this stage. We just pivot, and boom, she's right there. And holy crap. This woman is a fucking rock star. Sorry for all the F-bombs, but man, she is she's unreal, man. If you've never seen St. Vincent live, you absolutely have to go. You have to go. I've seen her. This was the third time I've seen her. I saw her once at the Chicago Theater. It was a good show, but completely different than this. Completely different. And then I saw her once. I saw her down in Austin at South by Southwest. I saw her in a very tiny venue. She had just kind of broken onto the scene. And I was enamored with her immediately. So, huge fan. This is the album that kind of broke her big. It is called, I always forget the name of this record. I don't even know the name of this record. Is it VO or is it, I don't even know. But this is the one with Digital Waitress, Rattlesnake, Birth in Reverse. This is kind of the one that really put her on the map. After probably five records before this, and this finally put her on the record, 4 or 5. And yeah, this is great. A great record. Digital Waitress, like I said, Birth in Reverse, she played that. And I'm telling you, you guys, this woman she's a rock star, man. And if you go see her, just go see her. If she's coming to your town, go see her. She's been here a couple of times and I haven't gone. I think she played with Roxy Music on a little tour, maybe last year or early this year. I think it was last year. She played with Roxy Music, and they played the United Center, which is a basketball stadium. I don't go to concerts at basketball stadiums very often. Once in a while, but it's got to be, somebody big, the Stones or somebody. And she, I think she opened for Roxy Music. I don't remember. Or maybe it was a double bill or something. This is her new record. This is called, I always forget, All Born Screaming. And this is a grower. When I first heard it, the previous record, Daddy's Home, is completely different than this. The Daddy's Home has like a Philadelphia soul sound to it, but yet it's still St. Vincent. It's got that St. Vincent vibe, but it's more soulful. And I like that record. I like it a lot. She did not play much from it. I think she played one song. This is better. I love this. And I think this gets better as it goes on. The deeper tracks, the songs towards the end, are actually my favorite. The first song, I remember hearing the first song, which is Hell is Near. And I was like, oh, this is okay. And then this next song, Reckless, I was like, oh, this is okay. And then it just kicks into high gear. The song Broken Man, A Flea is great. Big Time Nothing to close out the first set is awesome. And then the second, I love the second side. A song called Violent Times, The Power's Out, Sweetness Fruit, So Many Planets, and All Born Screaming. Just a kick-ass album. I mean, this is definitely going to be high on my list this year. She played a bunch of stuff on it. Obviously, she's promoting this record. And it all just melded into one, like, cohesive show. And, even the older songs, she did a couple of really early stuff. And, yeah, it was a great mix. This is an album, I discovered this because there's a song on here that this might be the first St. Vincent album I ever bought and really was turned on by. It is, what year did this come out? Of course it doesn't say. But it's on 4AD, and this is called Strange Mercy, right? Yeah, Strange Mercy. And this has a song called Surgeon. And I fell in love with that song. I'm pretty sure that's the first St. Vincent song I had really, really fallen in love with. This is a cool record. I don't play this enough. I need to, actually, I'm going to keep this out after the video because it's a really good record. I dig this. Chloe in the Afternoon is the opener. The song Cruel. I think Cruel might have been a single, but man, singles back then for her, she wasn't selling records when this came out. And then the song Surgeon, like I said, just a really terrific song. Totally dig this. This is a personal favorite of mine. If you're going to start somewhere, I would definitely start with the album with Birth in Reverse and Digital Waitress. That's definitely her niche. Mass Education, the album that followed that is also great. I should have pulled that. I didn't want to make this video too long. Next up was Pavement. I had never seen Pavement. I do not own any Pavement records. I used to have a couple of CDs. I enjoy Pavement. I like Stephen Malkmus, the lead singer. I like his solo stuff. I really was digging his. I have one of Stephen Malkmus's solo records. I think it's just self-titled. It's kind of blue and it's got him on the cover. That's a really good record. And then there's a couple of Pavement records I really like. I probably need to buy a few on vinyl. Add them to the list. They were okay. They were good. It was getting late in the evening, and I was starting to wear down. To be honest, because they came on at 7:40, and I'd been there since 1:30. So I really was. I was after, and especially after St. Vincent. Holy crap! She wiped the crowd out. The whole place was rocking, man. I'm telling you. I cannot say enough about St. Vincent, obviously. But then Pavement comes on, and they're the Canadian band, kind of alt rock. Nico Case used to be in the band at one time. She is no longer in the band. They were good. They weren't great. I think under different circumstances, I probably would have enjoyed them more. They had to follow up St. Vincent, to be honest, and it went down after that. Not them per se, but the energy in the crowd and in myself. I was wiped out. So we got rejuvenated. They did a 50-minute set. Maybe it was a little longer. It might have been an hour. Maybe a little over an hour, actually, because I think St. Vincent also did a little over an hour. And then Beck. Again, if you've never seen Beck in concert, I highly recommend going and see him. He is absolutely wonderful. I've seen him 3 times now. Every time it's been a music festival. I saw him at the Pitchfork Music Festival. I saw him at the Beale Street Music Festival. And then I saw him here. The Beale Street Music Festival was incredible. It was like a day after Prince had passed away. And his encore was 45 minutes of Prince songs. And it's one of the great concert memories of my life. The crowd, the hair on my arms is standing up, even just thinking about it right now. He came out and he said a few words about Prince, because Prince was obviously a huge, huge influence on Beck. And they ran through 45 minutes of Prince songs, and it wasn't just hits, it was deep tracks, and just it was absolutely incredible. It was definitely one of the highlights of my live music career, and absolutely blown away by that. So anytime I get to see Beck, I try to see him. I haven't liked his last couple of records all that much. They're okay. I don't even remember the name of it. I have it. What's it called? Colors is, and then there's one after that too, right? They were okay, but he played a ton of stuff from this. Odelay, what a great record. This is definitely what put him on the map. Nobody knew about him, but holy crap, he played a ton of stuff from this. He played Devil's Haircut, Lord Only Knows. I think he played Novocaine. Oh, he played Where's It At? Yeah, this was absolutely wonderful. What year did this come out? No, doesn't say. Again, doesn't say. But we all fell in love with Beck when this came out. Just a wonderful record. And then we fell in love with him again when he releases this. My favorite. This is definitely my favorite. Sea Change. I just have the black. I want a MoFi of this. But, really, really good record. And then he kind of does this. Wins a whole bunch of awards for Morning Phase. Produced, engineer, everything done by him. All the songs are written by him. All the music is pretty much done by him. This is a gorgeous record. It's kind of in the same vein as Sea Change. Beautiful record, man. Just a beautiful record. I would take Sea Change over this, but terrific record. And then the one underrated record in his discography. I have all his records. I was gonna pull out more, but I didn't want to. I didn't want this to be a 25-minute video, as we're at 22 minutes. This is great. I think this is probably his most underrated record, and this is Guerrero. Guerrero. What did I say? Anyway, really good record, Spanish influenced. I dig this. Every time I put it on, I'm like, why don't people talk about this? This is a great record. The whole thing. Girl, Black Tambourine is on here. Missing, hell yes. Yeah, this is a really good record. I don't know why people don't talk about this Beck as much as like Information and Midnight Vultures. I don't think I have Midnight Vultures. That's the one I'm missing. I should get that. It's hard to find, right? I think it's hard to find. That's why I don't have it. Excellent Beck record. So that was it. Yeah, and then hopped in the car and came home, and my dogs were barking. My feet, I don't have dogs, I have cats. Yeah, so my dogs were barking, the cats were hungry, and I crawled right into bed and slept for like 10 hours. This old man was tired. I was completely wiped out, but it was worth it, man. With a lineup like that, for me, that's something that will get me to a music festival like this for one day. My friends who went, the friends that I went with, they actually got 3-day passes, and they're older than me, but they got VIP passes, and they get an Airbnb down there, so they don't come back and forth because they live near me. The back and forth does get tiring. So they get an Airbnb down there, and they stay in the neighborhood. It's a terrific neighborhood. It's kind of in the Pilsen neighborhood of Chicago. Very Latino. There's great restaurants and all kinds of little venues and stuff. So they stay down there, and they go eating and drinking after the shows and stuff. I don't know where they get the energy, but they had a great time. I had a blast, absolute blast. Would I do it again? We'll see next year. You guys stay safe, stay well, and questions, comments, snide remarks in the comments below. Talk to you soon.